today we're going to be looking at GANNON STAUCH, and the reason is because the astrology has been absolutely spot on with the search points so far, and the next search is no different. It is even closer and more amazing than the last one. So if you've been watching my GANNON thread with a playlist with all the GANNON things, you'll see it, and you'll see it evolve over the previous videos. So please have a look. I'm sorry to those people that want other cases, but at the moment, until GANNON's found, I just can't stop thinking about it. Now, I am doing a lot of other cases in between, but as many people would know that are watching GANNON's case unfold, it's like GANNON is really trying to reach out and tell a whole lot of people where he is and what's going on. It's very strange. Those people that watch my channel and watch the lovely Katrina and a whole bunch of other people will know what I mean. Okay, so GANNON's stepmother blabbed again. Okay, so now she has, now first of all, so this was the 27th of February, yesterday. Editor's note: the story has been corrected to reflect that GANNON's stepmother said he did not walk out of the basement door on that day. He walked down to the basement area after he arrived home in the afternoon, but did not exit through a basement door. Now, okay, red flags again. What's that about? The talk of the is this because we've now seen the basement activity? I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but I have. There's some screenshots going around of when, well, basically the movement in the house that day. And there was several times that someone went down to the basement in the afternoon. So it's very convenient that after things come out on Facebook, obviously stepmom is in the groups, because everything that comes out next covers up that last prior thing that's been found out. So did he exit through the gate, the basement? What the hell's going on there? And now he walked to the basement after he arrived home in the afternoon. That just matches the screenshots that are going around. That's all that does. Okay. Now she says, something's not right. I'm so mad. They've spent all this time and haven't found him. Why? Because they're chasing me. Well, that says that they are chasing her. The cops are onto her. So, yay for that. I think it's pretty obvious that they are. Anyway, they're at her house, a couple of days ago. Okay, so just down here it talks about the footage from next door, and I saw an interview with that man, Drayton, sorry. But there's no reason he would lie about this at all. So any type of discussion on that he made it up or made up times, why on earth would somebody do that? Rubbish, he didn't. Okay, now here it's interesting. Now we find out that she said the little boy had pooped in his pants the day before and had been having issues with his stomach. And she clearly remembers giving GANNON a white bag to hold as they got into the truck. That's not what we saw. But so now he pooped in his pants. Now that's starting to get more along the lines of, because apparently she also said it could have been medication that did this. Why did he poop in his pants? If he was that sick, why the hell was she going shopping? There's a whole bunch of other things that are going to come up in a minute I'll tell you about. Why didn't she take him to the doctors? Not go shopping, not go to the sports store, and Petco's a bit iffy now. We're not sure if she went there. Let's carry on. So the day, I feel sick to my stomach hearing that he'd pooped in his pants, because to me that is another reason why she would have gotten angry. And you know what, I'm all for saying, you know, don't accuse anybody, whatever. This woman is saying everything wrong, like everything. Her story is falling apart. What I say is not going to make any difference, so I'm not holding back. I'm reporting what I'm reading so other people can see it and see that this astrology's close as well. Now I hope to God they find him alive, but I really don't think so, sadly. So I'll just say that again, and I'm sorry to say that. Anyway, okay. So she goes on to say that she theorised that Dayton may have provided the incorrect date of the surveillance footage. I don't think so, since her teen daughter arrived home on that day at 4:38 and parked in the same spot her truck was spotted in on security footage. Well, the security footage we only know was 2:19. So we don't know if she didn't move that truck and then the daughter pulled in at 4:38. So obviously the cops or somebody else knows what happened at 4:38. Like you know, this is weird. There's something odd about this. If her daughter arrived home at 4:38, the footage we saw was at 2:15 or 2:19. That leaves ages for her to move the truck, and that's weird. And then there's a mention of her daughter going to the Dollar Tree. The truck was on the road then. So was the truck there? Was the truck not there? Were both cars there? Were both of them not? Like, what a load of crap. Okay, so get to the interesting bits. Stauch admitted the footage that captured her leaving on the morning of the 27th was likely correct. Well, that's weird, considering she just said that it was the wrong day. Jesus Christ, it couldn't get, I'm sorry for saying the Lord's name in vain, it couldn't get any worse. This woman contradicts everything she says in one breath. She said she backed up in the truck into the driveway that morning while she let it warm up. She added that Gannon dropped one of his electrics as he was getting into the truck and she picked it up for him. Guess who's been watching YouTube, everyone? Stepmom. Okay. Authorities have not confirmed or denied the accuracy of the footage. There was no date on there that Drayton provided to local media. Well, she's just said that it was likely it was correct. She left on that time in the morning, so that's weird. Drayton said that he looked drugged and sluggish. It's not out of the question. I've mentioned that before with the astrology. Okay, now here comes some really interesting stuff. Let me make sure I've got time. Okay. Now the whole story's changed. Now the Petco thing. It was two workers from Petco that think that they saw her. Now, there's no real confirmation that she was at Petco, right? But this is even worse. Tisha Stauch said she drove her husband's truck on the 27th as a way to cut down on mileage on her own vehicle. Yeah, right. She explains that her car was leased and she'd have to pay a fee or have to buy the car outright if she went over certain miles each month. Yeah, you don't have to buy them outright. That's insurance. Whatever. That's a load of shit. She also said she needed the room in the back of the truck to bring used sports equipment to Play It Again Sports. I'll show you those. There's two of them. A sporting goods store that buys and sells new and used sporting goods. Stauch said she planned to shop for hockey equipment since it was the only sport that Gannon had shown interest in. All the while he was pooping his pants and really sick, mind you. She's off to Play It Again Sports. Then afterwards she went to Castle Rock to find a new bike for Al. Huh? So now we've got to relook at the time frames and how far she could have gone and whatnot. Well, in fact, we don't really. When we look at the astrology, please stay listening, because honestly, don't miss the astrology. If you want to skip forward to it, that's fine. Okay, now here's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard anyone say. Stauch admitted that she left her phone at home on that day. Number one, she told everybody that she took a selfie of her and Gannon and sent it to Al. How did she take a selfie in the car if she left her phone at home? She said she had an Apple smartwatch on the entire time, which can easily track her whereabouts. Apple smartwatches don't take photos. They don't. Well, unless there's a new sort that do, but she hasn't got one that the sort she's got does not take photos. It didn't take a photo. And if you remember, you'll see that there's a text she sent to Al at 10:54. It's this old-fashioned looking phone. It's not an Apple thing. Like, but who would leave their phone at home? No woman at that age leaves their phone at home. There's just absolutely no reason for it. I don't know what a smartwatch can do, but why would you leave your phone at home? It's so misleading. It's crazy. Then she goes on to explain her whereabouts may seem confusing because she took the back roads that morning. Why? Because there had been a wreck. Well, guess what? You can actually Google the road all the roads that she went down to see if there was a crash or a wreck on that day. And I even contacted a person that is responsible for a website that runs the cameras in the area, and there was no accident on that day. There was an accident 3 days later. There was several accidents 3 days later that would have held her up. No accident that day, unless it was a tiny little fender bender. So she took the back roads, exactly as I said in the last video, right? Because there had been a wreck. At one point she got lost and had to turn around. Apparently she got lost. Even I know the streets of Colorado now, even though I just called it California. I mean, I wouldn't get lost going up those roads. So she got lost, whatever. She also said she took exit 163 off of Highway 105, which we'll look at in a minute, but didn't remember exactly when. Then it goes on to say that he was dealing with bouts of constipation and diarrhea. He didn't go to school and he went shopping because he might have had an accident in class. So she wasn't taking him to the doctors. Really, he was embarrassed, apparently. So there's another thing that's a lie. Then she added that his medication caused him to have stomach issues and bowel problems. Medication. That's not a good sign. And you know what? All of this, if he'd pooped his pants, the poor little darling, and he had a terrible stomach ache, right? You know how much that hurts? When your stomach's so sore and you can't make it to the toilet or whatever? But then she decides to scream at him and put him down and gaslight him and video record it and make him feel like a piece of shit and cry like that. Like, what sort of person is she anyway? If that little darling was sick like that, who the hell is she to talk to him like that? It's all wrong. It's so wrong. Okay, we'll move forward to some maps. Just firstly, here is another article that Thursday they'd planned to focus on the area near Highway 83 and Highway 105. Now, you can hear my voice is changing. Katrina, if you're listening to me, if you're watching this or anybody else, this is what happens when the computers start to work again. Okay, because I've been having lots of issues uploading and everything. You might recall, you might have read it and gone, what's she talking about on your live post? But I wrote on there, your throat might seize up soon. As soon as I start to get to the areas and the mapping, my throat chakra just closes and I can't talk, and I have to pause it and cough and clear my throat, and then I have to go like and really try and get my voice out. So sorry to interrupt then, but I had to say that because I wished that I could talk on the live last night from Katrina to explain, like, so many people were feeling terrible. There was a lady that felt sick, another lady felt like she was going to vomit, another people were crying, and I was trying to say what we need to do in this instance. Okay, if you're doing this case in particular, all the ladies that are doing this and watching, okay, if you're feeling weird, you feel Gannon close, but it's negative, you're feeling something negative, not Gannon, but the negative energy, and I know you know what I'm talking about, go and wash your hands thoroughly all the way up to your elbows. Okay, that cleanses from the keyboard, from every, like, that sounds crazy, I know, but it's a very cleansing thing to do, and it helps. Also, walk away from the computer. You're not going to miss out on too much from walking away for a little while and having a breather. And another thing is to try and just center yourself. Don't worry about anything that's going on around you, and focus on yourself and your family and your love for your family, and put that out into the universe. Don't just keep taking in this dreadful, dreadful stuff. But washing your hands up to your elbows, both hands, it works. So please try that if you're not feeling good. Okay, back to it. So I know people might think that's nuts, but it works. Okay, so the search was actually postponed until tomorrow, and Highway 83 and Highway 105 is now the search area. And I actually have an even closer search area, well, a point where the meeting is going to be, where they're going to meet, and I'll show, I'm not going to give that actual address out, but I'm going to show you on the map where that is. So there's two new areas that we need to look at. Alright, back at my map again. So we've been looking at the moon line, where they've been looking at 105. The last video I got to here, and I said I hope they look there. Okay, now we need to go back. This is one of the first spots they searched. So I'll just zoom out a bit. So this is the house, and this is the lines, okay? So I've popped in another line. Now I'm just going to pop that up. Okay, so the main line we have is the moon line. That represents small children. Venus and Neptune represent the perpetrator. Now they're at 16 and 16 of Pisces in that 12th house, and then Chiron is at 2 degrees of Aries in the 12th house as well. So all of these planets we're utilizing. Okay, so we've got the ruler of both. Gannon's ruler as well is Mars, as we know, at 16. And then Saturn is a body, not necessarily dead or alive, but it's usually a dead body. But it's skin and bones, not the soul. The soul is the sun. So I'm using Saturn, the moon, Venus, Neptune and Chiron for directions. Saturn I'm using for miles out, and I'll show you why. 24 point something miles, where Saturn is, goes to this area here, this big circle. Okay, this line here is the Venus and Neptune line. That is 346 degrees, which is exactly what it is on the chart. Now I'd like you to have a look where the crossroad is here. Route 105 and 83. Exactly where they're going to be looking tomorrow. That's amazing to me. The first places they've searched is the moon line, which is Gannon's line, and now they've gone over, and this coincides with the back roads, to the Venus and the Neptune line. Exactly. So that's 346, which equals 16 Pisces. I'm going to show you this again. 16, 16 Pisces. Okay. 25 miles from her house. Is near 24, 33, you round that up to 25, is Saturn. So Saturn actually represents the mileage outwards in this instance. Now, the area that they're actually meeting is on this Walker Road. Why is this so blurry? Excuse me a minute. Wow, I had to pause then and start everything up again because, of course, the map didn't want to load because my computer doesn't want to work because Mercury is retrograde, as we all know. Okay, it's still not doing it. It doesn't want to zoom in properly. I don't know why. Walker Road is here. Then there's a little off-road which I'm going to show you. So this is my map anyway, 25 miles out. So whether the search began at the crossroad of 83 and 105, or whether it's at this other area that I read about, it's still on this line. And I think actually I'd look closer to here. I'm going to zoom in and go here. And it's not gonna, oh, I can't believe it, it's not working. Okay, it's really hard to see, but first off, there's a road in here and it's called Woodhaven Drive. That's where I'd be going up, Woodhaven Drive. If you have a look around, this is Walker Road. It's very vast. Ugh, I can't believe this. There's really nothing around. If we go to, this is the intersection of Highway 83 and 105. So as you can see, looking around, there's not a lot there. I'm sorry, it's blurry. Again, there's interference from something. This doesn't even want to work. Nope, doesn't want to work. Okay, so anyway, that's the interception, and then this. Can I move? I can't move. That road I just showed you before. Can't believe that. Look, nothing's working. Unbelievable. Anyway, so that's really all I'm going to say. That's all I've got to say. I've said the story. The story doesn't make sense. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wonder if it'll let me do this. No, my computer's just not working. It's given up the ghost. Okay, amazingly, I've got it to work. Mainly, as you can see, there's a white screen around here, so it may not stay on here long. I know that's not the exact address, but it's close. I'm not putting the exact address on there. Now, as you'll see, there's only a couple of ways around these places. This is the back way that I think that she took, and it's the one I pointed out in my other. Okay, so I got cut off from the last bit of the video. This is the area where the one of those sports stores is. The other one is actually all the way up here around Larkspur, and Castle Rock is right up there. I might have to just have a look at something for a second. Okay, so I was curious. There's two Play It Again sports centres. One is very close to their house, just at the end of this street here, some 13 miles I think it is. The other one is all the way up here in Castle Rock, exactly where she also said she got Owl's bike. Now this is nearly 60 miles, an hour. So she's gone an hour out of her way to go to a place that she could have gone 13 miles to go. So it would have taken less time, not by much, to go this way, but she's gone the back streets, so this way, but she's gone all the way up there. Okay, so let's have a look at what's around here. So she's done a turnaround at some point as well at 163. Okay, so that goes up here. She reckons she got lost. I don't know, how can you get lost? You're only on one road. The 25, the 163 is, I can't even remember where it is now. Okay, so look, that's so far away. The hell was she doing up there? So she got off at the 163, which is off the 25. And okay, so I found it. There's 163. So she said she went off on 163, right? Why? And then have a look at this. This is the road that we were looking at before, where the churches are. This is crazy. She's literally just in all of the same areas going around. Okay, I could all, like, so Gannon has to be between here and there, okay? He's not. I can guarantee you he is, well, not that he's not. I mean, he's not. I don't think he's near the house. I think they're right. This 105.83, look, it's right here, 105 and 83. It's a perfect area, especially if you're going off over here a little bit. But there's only, there's only two roads. You know, like seriously, there's two roads and a couple of other roads. How did she get lost? Why on earth did she go all the way to Play It Again Sports in Castle Rock, an hour away, when she could have gone 13 miles away from the house to the same store? So she herself has put herself at Play It Again Sports. Petco was, you know, we weren't 100% sure. She's now saying that for an hour she went up there. So trying to figure out the time frame, I'm going to have to do another video, because she left at 10:15. Let's pretend Petco is not even involved in it, and she wasn't on video there at all. So she's left at 10:15. It's taken an hour, 11:15, and then an hour back again, 12:15. It gives you an extra. It gave her 2 hours to shop, do other stuff. Plenty of time. I don't actually even need to do another video on it. Don't need to time it. There's plenty of time. So yeah, this is the back roads. Why did she go all the way up there to Play It Again Sports when there's one So I'll finish this off by showing where Play It Again Sports is in comparison to her house. Like I said earlier on, that's not the exact address. I'm not going to put the exact address. 17 minutes through the back streets. She could have gone to Play It Sports. There's also a doctor's around there. I know that from looking before. None of this makes sense. Why wouldn't you go 17 minutes away rather than go an hour up here and not take your phone, knowing that you're going to go an hour away? So you're going to definitely be gone away from home for 2 hours. What if something happened in the meanwhile? You know, and then apparently she got lost. I don't know, it's just rubbish. Okay, so I just wanted to show everyone that was the map again. Once again, it's extremely close, and I really think that it's going to be very, very soon now that they'll find out what's going on. I think they have her by the balls. The police, I believe, are all over this, and I just really hope that they find Gannon in the next few days, or at least the next week. My guess astrologically is that he will be found definitely, and we'll have some answers by the 10th to the 12th of March. I'm really hoping it's before then, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, thank you so much everyone for watching all of these. I will be doing some more cases, but as I said, it's really hard to let go of this one while it's going on, and that it's following the astrology so well. So take care, and I'll see you again with my next video that is actually going to be different. It's going to be about the astrology and psychology of Ed Kemper, who was a serial killer, and in the TV series Mindhunter, very interesting person, sicko, but very interesting to look at. So the next one will be a serial killer, and we'll carry on from there. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.